Hello children, welcome to online classes. Today our topic is respiration. Every living organism needs oxygen for living. Without taking in oxygen, we cannot live even for few minutes, few seconds. Just for 20 or 22 seconds we can live, but after that we cannot live. So oxygen is very essential for every living organism to survive on this earth. So there are different ways of taking in oxygen. For example, if you see fish lives in water. So it respires, it takes in the oxygen that is dissolved in water. For taking in that oxygen from the dissolved water, they have gills. Fish uses gills. So fish lives in water and they use gills for respiration. Next, amphibians. Amphibians means the organisms that live both in water and on land. For example, frog. Frog, when it is in water, it respires through skin. The frog has a moist skin and it has pores throughout the skin. Through these pores, it can respire when it is in water. When it is on land, it uses its gills for respiration. So, what are the respiratory organs of fish? Gills are the respiratory organs of fish. And what are the respiratory organs of frog? Skin and lungs. When it is on land, it respires through lungs. Skin and lungs are the respiratory organs for frogs. Next, reptiles. Reptiles means snake, lizard, all these. They also have lungs for respiration. For example, amoeba. It is a unicellular organism. How does amoeba take in oxygen? Through its body wall. That is the respiratory organ. So, human beings, lungs. Fish uses gills. Frog uses skin when it is in water and lungs when it is on land for respiration. The other animals, reptiles, mammals, birds, all of them have lungs. They respire and their respiratory organs are lungs. Amoeba takes in oxygen through its body wall. It is a unicellular organism. So, coming to the respiration in human beings. How do we respire? We respire through nostrils. We have two nostrils. These two nostrils are lined by a mucous membrane. This mucous membrane keeps the nostrils moist, always moist. And also small hair-like structures are present in the nostrils, in both the nostrils. These hair-like structures, they prevent the dust particles from entering the lungs. So in such a way, we breathe in pure air. The dust particles are filtered in the nostrils itself. Then from these nostrils, the air enters the windpipe. This is the windpipe. This is also called trachea. Windpipe or trachea. The trachea is divided into two branches. Each branch is called the trachea or windpipe is divided into two branches. Each branch is called bronchus. Plural is bronchi. This is the lung. This is another lung. We have two lungs. This is trachea or windpipe. This windpipe is divided into two branches. Each one is called bronchus. Again, the bronchus is divided into number of branches called bronchioles. Bronchioles. So these bronchioles end in air sacs. These are the air sacs. The bronchioles end in air sacs. Yes, like this. So there are air sacs. Finally, the oxygen reaches through the trachea, bronchus and bronchiole, from the bronchiole into the air sac. So when we breathe in air, the air passes through the nostrils and enters the trachea. Through the trachea, it enters the bronchi. Bronchi is plural, bronchus is singular. From the bronchi, it enters the bronchioles. Bronchioles to air sacs. From these air sacs, the oxygen is absorbed by the blood. That blood takes the oxygen to heart. In such a manner, our respiratory system works. A pair of lungs, these are spongy lungs, a pair of lungs on either side of here in the middle there will be heart. The heart and the lungs are protected by the rib cage. Already in 6th class you have watched that skeletal system, rib cage, isn't it? So in this rib cage, the heart and lungs are protected. The lungs are spongy, a pair of lungs are present, and the nostrils, two nostrils are there. Each nostril is covered by mucous membrane which keeps the nostrils always moist. And also hair is present in the nostrils which prevents the dust particles from entering the lungs. The air is getting filtered in the nostrils itself and the pure air reaches the trachea. From the trachea it goes to the bronchi. From the bronchi it goes to bronchioles. From the bronchioles finally it reaches the air sacs. From the air sacs the oxygen is absorbed by the blood. The blood from different cells, this oxygen is supplied to each and every living cell in our body. In the cell, the carbon dioxide is released. That carbon dioxide the blood absorbs and brings back to the lungs. And from the lungs, we breathe it out. Again from the air sacs, the carbon dioxide goes to bronchioles, bronchioles to bronchi, bronchi to trachea, trachea to nostrils. From the nostrils we leave it outside. In such a manner, continuously without any break till our last breath, we take in oxygen and leave out carbon dioxide. Take in oxygen, leave out carbon dioxide. Even the plants during respiration they take in oxygen and leave out carbon dioxide. During photosynthesis they take in carbon dioxide and leave out oxygen. But during respiration they too take in oxygen and leave out carbon dioxide. During night time they respire. That is why this is about respiration in human beings. Nostrils, trachea or windpipe, and these are the bronchi, and these are bronchioles. Bronchioles end in air sacs. Air sacs are present in the lungs. A pair of lungs are present on either side of the chest, and the lungs and the heart are protected by the rib cage. So now let us see the passage of oxygen. First, nostrils. From nostrils to trachea. Trachea to bronchi. Bronchi plural, bronchus singular. Bronchi to bronchioles. bronchioles. Bronchioles to air sacs. From the air sacs to all the cells in our body. All the living cells in our body receive oxygen. Even a single cell is not left. Every living cell in our body, maybe millions and millions of cells are there. Every cell is supplied with this oxygen. And from every cell, the carbon dioxide is absorbed by the blood and the blood takes it back to the lungs. In the same manner, from all the cells, the carbon dioxide goes back like this. From the cells to air sacs to bronchioles, bronchioles to bronchi, bronchi to trachea, trachea to nostrils. From the nostrils, we breathe it outside. When we breathe out, that air has carbon dioxide and also water vapor. The air we breathe out also has carbon dioxide and water vapor. If you breathe out onto a mirror, you can observe a thin layer of water. You breathe out onto the mirror and see, you can observe a thin layer of water droplets form. This is nothing but the water vapor. So we breathe out carbon dioxide and water vapor. We breathe in oxygen. Breathing in is called respiration. Breathing in is called inhalation. Breathing out is called exhalation. Inhalation and exhalation. INHALATION. Inhalation and exhalation. 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 Inhalation and exhalation together called respiration. Inhalation means breathing in. Exhalation, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out together form the respiration. So, inhalation and exhalation together called respiration. So, in presence of oxygen, we all can breathe in. We can respire. We can take in oxygen, leave out carbon dioxide. But some organisms, they breathe in. In the absence of oxygen also, they respire. That is called anaerobic respiration. Respiration that occurs in presence of oxygen. Respiration in the presence of oxygen is called aerobic respiration. AEROBIC. Aerobic. Almost all the living organisms, they follow aerobic respiration. Second type is anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic. Aerobic in presence of oxygen. Anaerobic in the absence of oxygen. So, anaerobic respiration occurs in yeast. Yeast is a type of fungi. Yeast is a type of unicellular fungi. They respire in the absence of oxygen and give out ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol plus carbon dioxide. Yes, when we idli dough, you might have seen at home, the idli dough, it is idli pindi. రుబ్బిన తర్వాత మమ్మీ బయట ఉంచుతారు. ఇట్ ఈస్ లెఫ్ట్ అవుట్ ఫర్ 1 hour at least. Then it will become porous. చాలా సాఫ్ట్గా పొంగుతుంది పైకి. So because of this yeast only, the yeast respire in an anaerobic manner and release out ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide. So these yeast are also used in bakeries for the raising of the cakes and bread. Yes, that is anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration occurs in our body also. When we do heavy exercise or when we run, athletes run fast, isn't it? When we run or when we work out, aerobics, exercises, our body needs more energy than usual, than normal energy. So that energy must be supplied to the body. But we respire nearly 18 times a minute. 18 times per a minute. We respire nearly 18 times per a minute. But during these exercises or when the athletes run very fast, they need more and more oxygen. That is why they respire very, very fast. Did you observe when we run or when we do heavy exercise, we respire fast? But that is also not sufficient. Then what the muscle cells will do? The muscle cells, they break down glucose into energy. Actually, in the nutrition lesson you have learnt, the carbohydrates are broken down to glucose, proteins are broken down to amino acids, and fats are broken down to fatty acids, isn't it? Already in digestion you have learned. So this glucose is oxidized. The glucose burns in the cells. Finally, when the oxygen enters the cell, in the presence of oxygen, what happens within the cell? Each and every living cell is supplied with these nutrients also. What are the nutrients? Glucose, amino acids, fatty acids, vitamins and minerals. So, each and every living cell in our body or in any organism is supplied with both the nutrients and oxygen. When the oxygen enters the cell, glucose is burnt. When glucose is burnt, energy is released. Ultimately, in the process of respiration, energy is released. Yes? So, here, during aerobic respiration, energy is released. Anaerobic respiration also energy is released. But only the thing is, during the aerobic respiration, the final end products are energy, carbon dioxide and water vapor. Energy is utilized by our body. Carbon dioxide and water vapor we do not want. That is why they are sent out. We breathe out. Yes? So, during anaerobic respiration, yeast also respires. In the absence of oxygen, respire means the glucose is broken down. The glucose is burnt and energy is released. As a result, ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide are produced. Are the end products. During anaerobic respiration, energy plus ethyl alcohol plus carbon dioxide are produced. So, energy is utilized by the yeast. Ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide are released out. Yes? So, this is about anaerobic respiration in the yeast. But what about the anaerobic respiration that occurs in our muscle cells? During heavy exercise or when we run fast or when we climb up stairs, we need more and more energy. So, our muscle cells will break down the glucose into energy in the absence of oxygen also, because energy must be supplied to the body at a very fast rate. To supplement that, the muscle cells break down glucose in the absence of oxygen. In the absence of oxygen, glucose is broken down means, can we call it as respiration? Yes, obviously. Respiration means we breathe in oxygen. It's very clear. It reaches the lungs. In the lungs, finally it reaches the air sacs. From the air sacs, it is taken by the blood to each and every cell. In the cell, in presence of oxygen, glucose molecule is burnt and energy is released. Isn't it? So, all this is the process in respiration only. But here, we have to understand one point. When the muscle cells break down glucose and release energy, the end products are lactic acid. Energy plus lactic acid plus carbon dioxide. No, not carbon dioxide, only energy plus lactic acid. That is why when they run very fast, finally they get muscle cramps and muscle pains because of this lactic acid. It causes inflammation. Yes? So this is the anaerobic respiration that occurs in the muscle cells. Aerobic respiration occurs in almost all the living organisms. Aerobic respiration is the respiration in presence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration is respiration in the absence of oxygen. Who respires in the absence of oxygen? The unicellular fungi, yeast. Yeast respires in the absence of oxygen and releases energy, ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide. Energy is utilized by the yeast and ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide are released out. During heavy exercises, when our body needs more and more energy, the muscle cells also break down glucose and energy is released. Excess energy is released. During that process, lactic acid is also produced. This lactic acid causes muscle cramps for athletes. Athletes means who participate in running competitions, isn't it? So this is about aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. These are the two types of respiration. Coming to the major steps in respiration. There are two major steps. Two major steps in respiration. That is, one is external respiration and the second one is internal respiration. See, external respiration means you breathe in once and check yourself. When we breathe in, finally the air reaches the alveoli or air sacs. First, the air enters the nostrils. From the nostrils, it goes to trachea. From the trachea to bronchi. Bronchi to the branches bronchioles. Bronchioles to air sacs. Isn't it? So, in the air sacs, there is oxygen. From the air sacs, the blood absorbs the oxygen. And from all the cells, it brings the carbon dioxide and sends into the air sacs. That carbon dioxide is we breathe out. So, exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. The blood absorbs the oxygen from the air sacs and takes that oxygen to all the living cells. In all the living cells, glucose is burnt and energy is released. See children, whenever we burn at least a small piece of paper, what are the end products? You burn a small piece of paper and see light energy, heat energy are produced along with the production of carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide is produced when glucose is burnt in presence of oxygen in the cell. So, energy is released. Here, the oxygen is taken to the cell. When glucose is burnt, carbon dioxide is produced. I told already, even when we burn anything on this earth, whatever we burn, carbon dioxide is the byproduct. Carbon dioxide is also produced along with the smoke. So, this carbon dioxide is produced in the cells, that is brought back to the air sacs. So, in the air sacs, exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide occurs. This is external respiration. It's clear to you. So, now internal respiration. What is internal respiration? I am telling from the air sacs, the blood takes the oxygen to the cell. Suppose this is the cell. The oxygen enters in. Within the cell, the glucose is burnt, energy is released. When the glucose is burnt, carbon dioxide is produced. That carbon dioxide goes out. Here also in the air sacs, suppose this is the air sac, oxygen is absorbed by the blood and carbon dioxide is released into the air sac. From there it comes out. So here the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide occurs, and at the cellular level also, at the cell, oxygen enters in, carbon dioxide comes out. The exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide occurs in two steps. First step is in the air sacs in the lungs, and second step is in the cells. Every cell, every living cell in our body except nails and hair, almost all the cells are living cells. Every living cell is supplied with oxygen. Within every living cell, the glucose is burnt and energy is released. Carbon dioxide is the byproduct. It is produced. That carbon dioxide is sent out. So, through this cell wall or cell membrane, the oxygen enters in, carbon dioxide comes out. From the air sac, oxygen goes out into the blood and carbon dioxide enters the air sacs. At two steps, the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide occurs. This is external respiration and this is referred as internal respiration. So, respiration is nothing but taking in oxygen and leaving out carbon dioxide. When we take in oxygen, it goes to the trachea, trachea to bronchi, bronchi to bronchioles, bronchioles to air sacs. From the air sacs, it is absorbed by the blood and it is taken to the cells. The cells also take that oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide comes to air sacs and from there again we breathe it out. This is a continuous process that occurs as long as we live till our last breath. Hope you understood, children. Have a nice day.